Yes, you really can charge an electric vehicle for free. After a payback period as short as 5 years, you'll drive on pure sunlight at zero marginal cost. The short answer is straightforward, but the full picture involves math, sunlight, batteries, and a payback period that could genuinely change the way you think about driving. Here's what this breaks down to. Exactly what it takes to build an off-grid solar garage that charges your EV without pulling a single watt from the grid, what it actually costs, and when that free part finally kicks in. Start with the basics. The average American drives about 37 miles per day. A typical electric vehicle uses between 1/4 and 1/3 of a kilowatt-hour per mile, which means you need roughly 9 to 13 kilowatt-hours of electricity every single day just for your commute. That's not a massive amount of energy, and that's precisely what makes this whole concept work. To generate that much electricity from sunlight, you need between 6 and 9 solar panels, assuming modern 400-watt panels and average US sunlight conditions. We're not talking about covering your entire roof. A modest array on top of your garage or a carport quietly converts sunlight into miles. Most people get tripped up on how this actually works day to day. In a grid-tied setup, your solar panels produce electricity during the day while you're at work. Your home uses what it needs, and the excess flows back to the grid through something called net metering, spinning your meter backward. Then at night, when you plug in your EV, you draw electricity from the grid, and those daytime credits offset the cost. Utilities typically offer time-of-use rates, TOU rates, where electricity costs more during evening peak hours and less overnight, which is exactly why understanding when you charge matters as much as how much you generate. You're not literally charging from the sun in real time, but the math nets out cleanly. Hit that like button and subscribe for more honest automotive insights based on actual data. An off-grid solar garage cuts the grid out entirely. Your panels charge a battery bank during the day, and that battery bank charges your car at night. No utility company involved, no electric bill, no middleman buying your excess power at 6 cents a kilowatt hour and selling it back to you at 35. That hidden markup, by the way, is one of the strongest arguments for going truly off-grid. When you stay connected to the grid, you're funding the very dependency your solar system was supposed to eliminate. So what does a complete off-grid solar garage actually cost? Walk through the components. 6 to 10 400-watt solar panels run between $2,400 and $5,000. Battery storage in the 10 to 20 kilowatt-hour range costs $4,000 to $12,000. And one key spec worth knowing is depth of discharge, or DOD. Quality lithium iron phosphate batteries allow 80 to 100% DOD, meaning you can use nearly all their rated capacity without degrading cycle life. A hybrid inverter adds another $1,000 to $3,000. Brands like Enphase and SolarEdge are popular options in this space, and the charge controller handling the connection between panels and battery bank runs $150 to $800, with MPPT controllers being significantly more efficient than older PWM designs. A Level 2 EV charger costs $400 to $1,200. Mounting hardware and wiring add $500 to $2,000, and installation labor typically falls between $2,000 and $5,000. Add it all up and you're looking at $10,450 to $29,000 before incentives. The federal government currently offers a 30% tax credit on solar installations, which knocks that down to roughly $7,300 to $20,300 out of pocket. In certain states, solar renewable energy certificates, SRX, provide an additional income stream, where you earn tradable certificates for every megawatt hour your system generates, further shortening your payback window. For a realistic middle-of-the-road setup, take a 10 kilowatt-hour system installed at $13,000 before incentives. After the tax credit, your net cost lands around $9,100. If you're saving $1,200 a year on electricity, which is typical for a household managing time-of-use rates and EV charging, your payback period sits at about 7.5 years. One thing worth flagging: that 30% federal tax credit may not survive past December 31, 2025. If you've been sitting on this decision, 2025 might genuinely be the last year to maximize your savings on battery storage installations specifically. It's worth noting that certain commercial and lease arrangements may extend incentive timelines into 2027, so if you're not buying outright, that's a conversation worth having with a solar installer. Now here's where the economics get genuinely exciting. Solar panels last 25 to 30 years. Modern lithium iron phosphate batteries handle 4,000 to 6,000 full charge cycles, and if you're cycling once a day, that's over 16 years of battery life. After your system pays for itself in 7 or 8 years, you've got potentially 15 to 23 years of completely free electricity stretching out ahead of you. Hit that like button and subscribe for more honest automotive insights based on actual data. Looking even further ahead, vehicle-to-grid technology, V2G, is beginning to change this equation in a meaningful way. Bidirectional charging lets your EV battery push electricity back into your home during outages or peak demand periods, effectively turning your car into a mobile power reserve that works alongside your solar garage rather than just drawing from it. Lifetime savings estimates range from $16,000 to $100,000, depending on where you live, how much you drive, and what electricity costs in your area. To put the per-mile cost in perspective, driving on solar electricity works out to about 3.5 cents per mile. Grid electricity costs roughly 5.5 cents per mile. Gasoline in a 27-mile-per-gallon car costs about 14.5 cents per mile. Solar runs 4 times cheaper than gas, mile for mile. This isn't just a backyard hobbyist dream anymore, either. Tesla recently opened Project Oasis in Lost Hills, California, and it's genuinely remarkable. It's the world's largest supercharger station, and arguably the most significant off-grid charging infrastructure built to date. 164 stalls powered by an 11-megawatt solar array and 39 megawatt-hours of battery storage from 10 Tesla Megapacks, and it's not connected to the grid. The station now supports all EVs through NACS adapters, reflecting the North American charging standards adoption by Ford, GM, and virtually every major automaker, meaning off-grid solar charging infrastructure is no longer a Tesla-only story. Max de Zegher, Tesla's director of charging, described it simply: for almost every day of the year, it's 100% sunshine powering the cars. That battery storage alone can charge about 650 Model Y long ranges. During peak sunlight, the station produces 7 times more energy than its minimal grid backup ever could. Tesla built the entire thing in under 8 months because, as they explained, utility grid connections wouldn't arrive in time to address charging demand along the I-5 corridor. A California startup called Power Station Charging has also opened a completely solar-powered DC fast charging station in Baker, California, along the I-15. Their setup runs 1,080 solar panels feeding 640 kilowatts into a 3.4 megawatt-hour battery pack. Charging there is completely free until May 2026, with no app and no membership required. 3 more stations are planned through 2027. Now for the limitations, because a fair analysis requires them. Winter is real. A 5-kilowatt solar system that generates 20 to 30 kilowatt-hours per day in summer might produce just 3 to 6 kilowatt-hours on a short winter day. Cold weather also cuts EV battery efficiency by 20 to 30%. If you live north of the 40th parallel, roughly a line running from Philadelphia to Denver, expect to oversize your system by 30 to 40% to maintain reliable coverage through winter months. The battery cost question is legitimate too. If your commute is modest and 15 to 20 kilowatt-hours of storage covers your needs, the system is practical. If you're driving 80 miles a day in Minnesota in January, the math gets considerably harder. But the trend line here is unmistakable. Lithium-ion battery pack prices dropped to $108 per kilowatt-hour in 2025, with stationary storage batteries now as low as $70 per kilowatt-hour at the leading edge of the market, down from over $1,000 per kilowatt-hour back in 2010. That's a 93% decline in 15 years. Home battery installations jumped 57% in 2024 alone. Tesla just installed their 1 millionth Powerwall, a 10 to 13.5 kilowatt-hour home battery system that's become the benchmark for residential storage. The direction this is heading is clear. So yes, you really can charge an EV for free. After investing somewhere between $7,000 and $20,000 and waiting out a payback period of roughly 5 to 15 years, Every mile you drive runs on sunlight at zero marginal cost. Your panels keep producing for decades. Your battery cycles for over 15 years. And every month, while your neighbors are paying for gas or grid electricity, you're driving on sunshine. Around 80% of EV owners already charge at home. Adding solar just means you stop paying anyone for the privilege. Once you break even, every single mile is free. Not almost free. Not cheaper than gas. Free. The only real question isn't whether this works. It's whether you'll act while the 30% tax credit still exists. Hit that like button and subscribe for more honest automotive insights based on actual data.